On the phone with me right now, Dr. Joe Congini. The doctor is in the house. He is the sports medicine expert from Akron Children's Hospital. And good morning, Dr. Joe. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm doing pretty good. I don't know about expert, but I appreciate getting a chance to talk to you this morning. And I wanted to just say today, I really appreciate through the years, you guys at WAKR really want to do a good job keeping young people safe. And so I have an issue today that I wanted to talk about in safety for young athletes. You know, we talk about the emergent issues. We've talked about them this year already, about heart problems with the AEDs and head injuries with concussions. And now it's heat season. And Ray and I this year have talked a little bit about, with heat season, about hydration, and we've talked a little about if somebody's getting into trouble with heat, we need rapid cooling. That's the big word nowadays, is getting people cooled rapidly and not sending them off to a hospital first, but cooling them. So we talked about those things. But the thing I wanted to talk about, there's some new rules and nuances related to acclimatization from the athletics department of the Ohio High School. And I wanted to just update people on that. It's a little bit different now that there are practices that go on in May and June. And a lot of athletes say to us, hey, I was practicing in May and June. I'm acclimatized to the heat. I don't have to do anything acclimatization-wise. That acclimatization really only lasts for about 7 to 10 days. So everybody has to re-acclimatize. Starting this week, Gene, Monday of this week was the first day that you could start a minimum 5-day acclimatization period to get used to the heat. And in order to do that, you need at least 2 hours out in the heat over those 5 days. It really takes probably 5, 7, 10 days overall before we really feel good about our athletes being acclimatized to the heat. And so it's really, really an important thing. It started on Monday. The mandatory date that it should be done by is the last day of the month of July, and the first day of practices then is August 1st. And if somebody has been away on vacation or somebody's been injured or somebody joins the team late, any team, they have to be acclimatized at that point. Even if it's August 5th or August 10th, that acclimatization period is necessary for everybody, and it's a very important part of the process of getting people used to being in the heat. The body has to get used to how to dissipate and get rid of heat, how to sweat properly, and get used to sweat rates and things like that. And that's part of what this physiology of acclimatization is the body getting used to dealing with heat. And we didn't do this many years ago, and we know that there's still people who get into trouble with heat, who even in this country, who die from heat illness. So it is a really serious issue. And another question people ask me a lot, Gene, is who oversees this? You know, is there somebody from Ohio who comes out to every school? No, of course not. It's your athletic trainers that are out at the schools. We have about 38 of them in the high schools and at the college at the University of Akron that are out there making sure that everybody is understanding the acclimatization period and staying with the acclimatization period. Our supervisor, Kyle Harper, does a really good job making sure the trainers are aware of this and that this is being done. And it starts this week, so I wanted everybody to know. You know, our medical directors, Dr. Derek Addy and Dr. Chris Liebig in Youngstown, they're also overseeing this. So if there's any questions, find your athletic trainer. Make sure that you go through this proper acclimatization period to get used to the heat. And it's really an essential part of keeping our kids safe. Gene, really important.
You know, there's one question I wanted to ask before we wrap up, and that is that I know that there's certain medications you can take that make you more sensitive to the heat. So whose responsibility then is it to let people know that maybe the athlete, the child is on certain medications?
Oh, that's an absolutely great question, and there are no question that lots of kids on different meds that could put them at a little bit more risk and make it a little bit longer for them to go through this acclimatization period. So I would start with your athletic trainer, but of course it's going to be your family doctor or the physician who is prescribing that medicine. That's most important. But just in case, we have our medical directors that are also available for the schools. with a phone call to help begin to answer those questions. But it would be the prescribing physician. And that's a great question, and this is a great week, the perfect week, to call your physician and be very clear on anything that you would be taking that could put you at risk for the heat, so that your body cannot do this normal process that it does of getting used to dealing with being out in and exercising hard in the heat. So thanks for that very good question, Gene.
Oh, excellent. Great. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Joe Congini. He is a sports medicine expert at Akron Children's Hospital. He's been on the air with us for years and years, talking to us about all sorts of different topics that relate to keeping kids safe and healthy as they pursue sports. So thanks so much, Dr. Joe.